Good morning. Today we're in James chapter 1. We're going to start in verse 2. Consider it pure joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. For perseverance must finish its work in you, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. If any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to him. But when he asks, he must believe and not doubt, because he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That man should not think he will receive anything from the Lord. He is double-minded man, unstable in all he does. So this is something, I've seen this in my own life when I'm going through trials. And what does it call it here? Trials of many kinds. I have found that as often as I don't understand that I'm going through a trial, and I'm like, I don't understand why this is going on. And I don't understand why this is going on. I don't understand. And I keep putzing around with it. Once I finally realize God's trying to teach me addition or subtraction or division, right? The spiritual fruits, how to use them. I'm like, oh, this trial that I'm going through, it will persist until I obtain the knowledge that's being requested of me. And, at that point, I can get through the trial, figure out what God's got in it for me to learn. And, that's what started my whole toolbox series that I did for you guys. But anyway, now I think I'm quicker at understanding I'm going through a trial. And I really can identify them better just from the practice of going through it, right? It's like, God, what can I learn from, this hardship, right? And quit thinking of it as a hardship. Start thinking of it as, hey, I got a job to do, and this is it. So when hard things come, if you consider it, hey, this is another way God's going to grow me, then you're going to go through your trials faster. Now, the downside or the upside is the more you know, the more you're responsible for, right? But the tree of life, has the fruits of the Spirit, and its ultimate culmination is said to be wisdom. So as we go through these trials in our life, we draw down on the fruits of the Spirit, and what we gain, it says right here, wisdom. And if you feel like, man, God, I need some more wisdom to get through this, ask for it, right? But ask for it knowing he wants you to get through your trials. He wants you to gain this wisdom. So, that's an encouragement that I've actually been able to witness, to testify about. It's a testimony I can carry, right? It's something that I've seen work, and it does. But it keeps going on in here. Should not be double-minded. So when we think, oh, I've been trained by men who said, in the business world we do business stuff, and they, men who claim to be Christians, and maybe they are. I won't judge, but this is the business side, and that's the Christian side. And, when we're doing business, we do it, this way. And when we're being Christians, we're that way. And it's perplexing to me when I heard that, in my 20s. I was like, I don't understand that. And, someone who's twice your age telling you that, who's a deacon in the church, you're like, okay, I'm not going to correct someone twice my age, but I don't know if I believe that or not. It doesn't feel right. But I know I've seen the double-minded, right? And ultimately, the men I've seen that are double-minded are not minded of God at all. And, that can play out over a short time. For me, I saw it over long periods of time. and how their ultimate decisions led them to the path that they ended up on. And so I think here when it's talking about the double-minded person, we're talking about someone who feels like they can have the wisdom of God and the wisdom of man and play both sides because that's how smart they are. It might be the ones that God referred to as the educated ones, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, that would come and, play the religious part for church, but then try to secretly deceive, trick Jesus into saying something they could put him in jail for. I think that's a good example. The Lord has nothing for them, right? They will live and die by their own wisdom, not by the wisdom of God. Anyway, I really liked this little passage today. And I tell you, verse 9 goes on into something that I felt like is just a completely different study. So that's going to be our study for today. We're in, again, James 1. We started in 2, and we ended up at 8. I hope you guys really read this one, really understand this one. This is a gift. If you can read this, understand it, apply it to your life, man, what a blessing James so eloquently documents here. And I hope my little testimony, further gives you some confidence in this. And I hope you guys read it yourself. I hope you all have a great day. Love you all. Bye.